Hey, third graders, it's Miss Street. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and you were very good for your mother or grandmother or your aunt or whoever on Mother's Day yesterday. You better be good. I'll find out. Just kidding. All right, you ready to systematize? Here we go. Remember, looking for the factors and the product. So 10, 2, what's the product? 20, good. I know. One group of 3 is 3, not 5, 3. Ready? 2 groups of 3, 6. 3 groups of 3, 9, perfect. 4 groups of 3, and that is 12, or 1, 10, and 2 ones. Okay, so we are looking at 3.NF.3 represent equivalent fractions with area and length models. We're working on composing, decomposing, and related fractions. In this problem, we need to make sure, in the standard, we need to make sure that we understand if the numerator has the same value as the denominator. That means that has the same value as one whole unit, one whole, whatever it is you're talking about, okay? So 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, that's 4/4, and that's one whole rectangle, okay? You also need to make sure that you can work with whole numbers up to 4 as fractions. This right here is what we call rigor within the standard, because there are fractions that are greater than 1. And the more that we emphasize this and work with this, it's really going to help third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders. It's really going to help you with division and fractions and just math in general. Okay, and so here I've shown you we only go up to the whole number 4. So our number line could go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far up as we go. But each whole, remember, can be partitioned in third grade in halves, fourths, sixths, and eighths. Thirds. I'm going to do it again. Halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. Okay, so on this example, I just showed you with fourths. So remember, one whole is 4/4. That's what we just talked about. If we keep going, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, that's 2 wholes. 9/4, 10/4, 11/4, 12/4, that's hard to say, is 3 wholes. So we need to understand that we can say 12/4, and we can say 11/4. Okay, and that's hard. We're not used to doing that, but that's why Miss Street's going to spend a lot of time right here. Okay, we were also looking at, Miss Street talked about how she needed a teleprompter for this problem because it's huge. Okay, we talked about Miss Street has a lot of pizzas. She takes 4 pizzas and cuts them into sixths. She takes 4 pizzas and cuts them into thirds. She takes 4 pizzas and cuts each pizza into halves. Here, keep going. Then she takes 4 pizzas and leaves them whole. For each set of pizzas, make a model to show how Miss Street cut the pizzas. Then write a fraction, here it comes, equal to 4 to show the number of pieces compared to the size of each piece. That's a lot. Look at my face, and I know it. I'm like, what? But that's why Miss Street's going to take a lot of time right here. In third grade, if Miss Street's thinking correctly, you guys only have 4 fractional standards. And so that's not much, but within those 4, it's a lot. And so we really want to make sure that we just take our time, we breathe, we process, okay? So here Miss Street has set up what we did on Friday. Hope you can see it as best as you can. Miss Street is working on her setup. I know. I'm trying. You're trying. We're all trying up in here. Okay, so remember we did the first part that she takes 4 pizzas and cuts them into sixths, okay? And here's where we did that. And Miss Street took it a little bit further, like I've done before, and I took our string, remember, and I made it linear, one long line, and then I partitioned it into thirds, and I put my string back together, and it showed me how to start with thirds, because I know a sixth is a related fraction because it's a multiple of the third. So half of 1/3 is 1/6. Did you see me just do that? So that means that 2/6 has the same value as 1/3. And we used our area model with our fraction bars to help us with our linear that we did this way, our length model, to make it into a circle. So what we did, I put this around the pizzas, we marked, and then I partitioned each third in half to show us that we have 6 equal parts in each pizza. So that's 24 sixths. We have 24 sixths. I hope that makes sense. But in relation to the whole number, we have 4 whole pizzas. Okay? So now I'm going to move on to the next part. It says she takes 4 pizzas and cuts them into thirds. Okay, I could do that. So here, Miss Street's already made her pizzas. I'm so glad I've already done that. So my template. So I'm going to take my string like I did before, and I know it's going to be the same size because I made sure all these circles were the exact same size. I actually just used a cup out of my cabinet to do. So I can see there where I have I can see my 3 pieces of tape. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to connect these 3 things, these 3 dots, and that helps me. And we talked about mixing the tricks here. Remember, we talked about, oh, just draw an upside down Y. That'll help you make thirds. Okay, and I mean, it will, but we really need to understand what it is we're doing. And that's why Ms. Street thinks it's really important to use a string or a piece of yarn to help us with this, to make us better mathematicians. And here we go. I'm doing this in thirds, right? I think so. I'll go back and draw it to the outside of the pizza. Oops. Okay. One more. Boy, Miss Street has a lot of pizzas. Whew. I didn't do very good on that one. Okay. So I'm going to connect. And so the next part that I've got to be able to do is to show the fractional. I need to write a fraction equal to 4 to show the number of pieces compared to the size of each piece. So Miss Street is kind of skipping around, but I did it on this one. I want to show you on this one. So how many thirds does Miss Street have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 thirds. I have 12 thirds. I have 12 little equal third areas. That's what the standard means, okay? But also showing it as a whole number. And remember, in 3rd grade, we go up to the whole number 4. So I see 3 thirds, 6 thirds, 9 thirds, 12 thirds gives me 4 pizzas. Ta-da, 4 pizzas. Okay, now let's move on to the next problem. Our next step in this humongous long word problem that is really, 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 really long. Okay, what does Miss Street do now? She takes 4 pizzas and cuts each pizza into halves. So I could use my string to do this. I would have to take it back out. If you remember, we did this in 2nd grade geometry. I could take my string out and lay it like this and then put the pieces of tape on it where it's just halfway. But I really wanted to show it more with thirds just to nix the tricks with the upside down Y. and for us to see. I can probably eyeball pretty good, even though Miss Street only has one good eye. It's okay. I can eyeball half. So I can do my half this way. I can do my half that way. I can do my half this way, or I can do my half that way. Okay. Each pizza has 2 equal areas. Okay. So now I'm looking at how many half pieces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 halves, half pieces. Okay. So here I have 2 halves, 4 halves, 6 halves, 8 halves. How many whole pizzas is that? You guessed it. 4 whole pizzas. 4 pizzas. Ta-da! All right, let's look at, I think we've got one more. One more. I already did orange. I like to use different colors. I'll use pink on this one. Okay, so that's brown. Boy, Miss Street's struggling today. Then she takes 4 pizzas and leaves them whole. So that means I don't have to partition anything. I leave them whole. So how many whole pizzas do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 whole pizzas. And each part is 1 whole, right? Or that's 4 pizzas. So I have 4 1 whole pizzas, and that's how we write that as a fraction. So for each set of pizzas, make a model. Miss Street's done that. And then write a fraction to show equal to 4 to show the number of pieces compared. So we've done that. So here we had 6, and we're showing that we have 24. There's 6, 12, 18, 24. 6 pieces. There's, I know it's confusing. There's 24 sixths is what I'm saying. So if I were to count each one of these individually, I would have 24. Okay, 24 fourths. I don't even remember. Oh, then we did the thirds. We have 12 thirds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's also the same as 4 whole pieces of pizza. We did halves. We have 8 halves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 halves. And we have our 4 wholes. So again, we're looking at related fractions, composing and decomposing those wholes. So we decomposed the wholes into, here we decomposed each whole pizza into 6. It means we broke it down. But when we put it back all together, when we compose these all back together, we have a whole number of 4. So awesome job. I'm glad we got that problem finished. I will be back with you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow. You're only a day away. Okay, I'll see you back here tomorrow. We're still going to be working in 3.NF.3. See ya.